Thank you all for testifying. I want to begin with just if we'll put 15C up as a slide. Mr. Wickham, you can review that while I have a question for Mr. Kohler. This is an internal Department of Energy slide reviewed before the Credit Committee. Mr. Kohler, it's not important. The slide's not important to this question. Now, in January of 2012, were you familiar with a plan that would stop the production of the Nina and repay $23 million back to the government and pursue a sale? This was...
No, not to my recollection.
Oh, well, then you should read this document.
Okay.
According to Fisker and Kleiner Perkins, actually, Mr. Fisker, if I could ask you, do you recall proposing a sale of Fisker and repaying the loan back to the Department of Energy?
Excuse me, when is this document from?
Let me just listen to my question. Yeah. Are you familiar with a plan from January of 2012 by which you would forego the Nina, the production of your automobile here in the United States, and repay $23 million already advanced from the government back to the government?
I do not recall having seen that document.
No. I'm asking you a question. I said forget the take the document down, please. These documents seem to perplex this panel, which that's a whole different subject for preparations for this question. Did you offer the government to repay the loan and forego the production of your automobile?
Congressman, I was not involved in those discussions. So I'm not aware.
So you're familiar with the discussions?
No, that's what I'm saying.
So you never offered to repay $23 million back to the government?
I was not involved in any such discussions.
Okay.
If there were any.
Do you know of any discussions to repay the government and pursue a sale of your company?
Not in the way you mentioned.
Okay, then in the way that you, then in what way?
No, I know of ongoing discussions about investors and different opportunities, but...
So tell me about those opportunities.
Well, we've always been raising money, but I don't think it's appropriate to sit here and talk about the private financial institutions where we're working with as a private fund.
So how much taxpayer dollars have you lost, American taxpayer money have you lost?
I assume you talk about Fisker Automotive. At this point in time, I do not believe that any taxpayer dollars have been lost.
None. Okay. So you plan to repay the loans and the money you've already received from the taxpayer?
Congressman, I'm no longer with the company, so I'm not familiar with the
fantastic. So let me ask you, Mr. Kohler, since Mr. Fisker said we haven't lost any money with the company that bears his name, does Fisker plan to repay the government?
Well, right now as we speak here, we have our management team in Anaheim working on potential solutions.
Okay. Is one of those solutions pursuing a sale?
Strategic investment, new capital from investors, and then to continue to repay the Department of Energy loan.
Okay. In January of 2012, were there discussions about getting added investment or pursuing a sale?
We talked about additional capital all the time, but I'm not aware of a sale.
Okay. Well, what we have here is a Department of Energy Loan Program Office document that actually went before the Credit Committee. Mr. Wickham, have you seen this slide before?
Sir, I have not seen the slide or I've not seen this document or had a chance to review it.
Okay. This was before the Credit Committee, and they discussed foregoing the Nina. DOE refused to resume advances until the September time frame. Fisker and Kleiner Perkins say they would forego the Nina, repay the $20 million already advanced for Nina, and pursue sale or move company to China or Russia, either of which would require first repaying the DOE loan. Mr. Fisker, are you familiar with anything that this slide has outlined for your company?
Congressman, no.
Okay. Were you with the company in January of 2012?
Yes.
Okay. So, and what was your role then? And
I was executive chairman.
okay. So perhaps if you're pursuing a sale of your company, proposed it or had the idea to a major creditor, you might be involved with it.
I probably would, but
Okay.
I did not see this document.
Okay. Mr. Kohler,
No, I haven't seen that, and I haven't heard this.
you've not heard of this scenario?
No.
Okay. Then we're going to move to another one, because this is fascinating, because they were contemplating, don't worry, they rejected it, that they rejected what they thought was an offer of $23 million to repay back the taxpayer. So let's go to the next slide. Update on 5/1/12. So May 1st, the Risk Committee voted to decline Fisker's offer to prepay approximately half their outstanding loan amount and offer DOE a commercial high-yield note for the balance. Mr. Fisker, were you with the company in May of 2012?
May of 2012, yes.
Are you familiar with an offer to repay approximately half the outstanding loan amount to the Department of Energy?
Congressman, there were several negotiations going on, usually led by the CFO in the company, and I was not part of most of these negotiations.
But you're familiar with an offer to repay the loan?
Not this offer. I do not recall that.
What offer are you familiar with?
Not an offer, no.
Okay, you're not familiar with much, it sounds like, and that's fantastic. We understand your willingness to not provide this information. Mr. Kohler, are you familiar with that offer? You're a chief operating officer of the company. Are you familiar with an offer to repay what appears to be about $93 million back to the Department of Energy?
Yeah, at the time I was Chief Business Development Officer, not Chief Operating Officer anymore, but I was not involved in these discussions, so I haven't heard any of it.
None of it?
No.
Oh, well, Mr. Whitcomb, we'll go to you. We'll see if you can enlighten us on any of this.
Your question, sir?
Sure. Are you familiar with either of these things I've asked your other panelists?
I haven't seen this document before.
Okay,
but
I'm not asking you
would
if you saw the document. I'm asking you, are you familiar with an offer to repay the government by Fisker?
I'm not familiar with an offer by Fisker. As I understand, there were multiple discussions going on with respect to raising high-yield capital for dollar amounts that I don't know, of which would possibly be used to repay some loan amounts or to redeploy to the business.
So at any time, did the Department of Energy reject a repayment from Fisker?
As I am aware, we've made no rejection directly to Fisker for not repaying the loan.
Okay. Well, we will provide you with the documents, Mr. Whitcomb. I'll have extensive questions that I would expect that you would endeavor to answer. It's inordinately frustrating when you're delaying of these questions based on just trying to slow play the answers. That is extraordinarily frustrating. But in written form, we'll provide you all these documents that I've referenced here today, and I would hope that you would have a better response than you've been able to provide this committee on this important issue of taxpayers losing money. The real issue here, Mr. Chairman, is that the government shouldn't be in this business of actually trying to be a venture capitalist. The government is a very poor venture capitalist. And what I mean by that is we lose taxpayer dollars. And when we lose taxpayer dollars, it outrages the public that has to pay for salaries of government workers, some that do a fantastic job. But when you're a senior secured lender, as you've testified, Mr. Whitcomb, you should actually have collateral. I've got extensive slides from that. I'm sure you'll have no comment on it. So, Mr. Chairman, I'll be happy to yield back.
Well, here's what